Hello, everybody. Spider here, DeFi Car Podcast, coming to you from San Antonio. Once again, being joined by our fellow, Oklahoma, right?
Yep, Oklahoma.
Man, Will, how do you pronounce your last? Yes, you see, now I was going to ask you about that because I mispronounce a lot. I mean, I am from here in San Antonio, so I saw it. I don't know if it was silent, but
Yeah.
my man, tell us first up, right off the bat, man, what brings you out here, San Antonio?
So my daughter's in a dance competition. So of course, instead of spending the week training in Oklahoma, I'm here watching that. It's kind of crazy. So we're kind of in and out, in and out. I'm trying to find time to work out and get ready for the fight on the 31st of July.
No, and you see, and that's why I wanted to welcome you in here. Of course, you're going to get some training here at the HOJ Academy. And as far as the dancing, man, does that she get that from you or mom?
Neither one of them.
Oh.
Her mom was a softball player, I was a wrestler, so I don't know where that came from. But she doesn't like to sweat, so I don't know even why she started in that either. So
No, definitely, man. And is she into sports?
no, she doesn't like sweating, which kind of I don't know why she dances, but
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully, how long has she been dancing, though?
for about 8 years, probably.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah,
Okay, I was going to say maybe it's a
13,
phase,
she
but...
started pretty good, pretty early.
Man.
And she's been with one group for 8 years, so it's kind of like hard to break them up. So.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I know I have two daughters, and yeah, it's one of them we moved twice, and she wanted to stay in that school, and it was just, we did it because, I mean, growing up, we got moved around like every year, man, and it was just crazy. But of course, but this fight coming up, it's going to be in Oklahoma as well?
Yeah, it's going to be in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
And of course, this is going to be for your fifth bout, I believe.
Yep, fifth bout, yep.
Now, when you started fighting, because you are 41 years of age?
Yes, I started fighting at 40 years old.
Yeah, so now I was going to ask you, before that, I mean, you come from wrestling, but what was it that kind of made you...
Man, it's kind of like, so I was in the military for 4 years, law enforcement, and I got out of that because there's just no money in it. And, I was still running every day, going to the gym,
Yeah.
and, of course, COVID happened, shut the gym down. And it's kind of like one of those moments like, what am I running every day for? What am I going to the gym for? Like, there was no goal at the end of it.
Right.
It's kind of like, if you do something with no goal or no passion, you're kind of just wasting your time. So, I have a buddy, his name's Lamont Stafford, call him the KO King, or Kid. He's fought with Bellator and a couple other bigger fights. But we went to high school together, so he kind of got me into it. He's like, dude, you'd love this stuff. So I was okay. So, I basically turned my back room of my house into a wrestling room, put mats up, and
Ready to go, man.
120 all the time back there, and it's just I got bored and just wanted something to train to look forward to.
No, definitely, man. And I mean, as far as wrestling, I mean, how many years did you wrestle?
I wrestled from about the age of 10 till 18. So.
Oh, wow, okay. You see, and that's interesting. I've had other guests, people even that I know that grew up wrestling, and they're talking about being 8, 9 years old, cutting weight, and not knowing what the hell that was. But I mean, the same for you. Were you cutting weight even at that age?
I was always a heavyweight. So,
oh, okay.
Thankfully, when I was younger, I wrestled. I think 275 was the max. Wow. And I was always about 250, 240. So.
Oh, okay, wow, man, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this next bout, of course, it's going to be in the heavyweight division as well.
Heavyweight division, yeah.
And as far as the limit for the heavyweight right now is 265?
Yeah, 265, yeah.
Okay, and what are you walking around at?
Right now, about 260.
Oh, okay. So you can still go eat lunch and...
Yeah. And of course, we train hard, man. It doesn't, you don't put weight on at all. I mean, I'll probably lose 10 pounds upstairs today.
No, I think you'll probably lose 5 here. I mean, we have the AC on, but I mean, it gets pretty hot. Now, as far as kids, man, I mean, of course, we have one back here, but how many kids do you have?
I got two, a boy and a girl. He's 15 and a half, and my daughter's 13.
And he wrestled?
Yeah, he wrestles.
Oh, okay, cool, man. And of course, I mean, was that something that, I mean, he saw you doing and he wanted to do, or did you kind of...
I don't know. I think he just wanted to wrestle, wanted to do something.
Yeah, and of course, I'm sure the back gym that you have, I mean, are you guys back there going over drills and training? Yeah. That's cool, man. Well, I mean, that's actually pretty good. I mean, especially trying to keep relating to your kids. I mean, it's always hard, but I mean, you guys have that in common, so of course, it helps.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like the biggest thing I've noticed, all like you said with the young guys, I started at the age of 40, and I had zero jiu-jitsu experience.
Oh, wow.
And it's like... trying to catch up on that curve, there's kids in jiu-jitsu right now at the age of 7 that have their first fights at 18.
Oh, yeah.
And, they've been doing this for, 15, 20 years. And it's like, the guys I fight are, 25 and been doing it since they were 15. And I'm like, there's such a big learning curve on, especially jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So if we're on the mat, it takes me a second to think of what I'm going to do next when they've already, got it figured out. And so I'm just trying to close that gap on, how long it takes me to react to something.
No, definitely. I can imagine, man. I mean, of course. I mean, having a wrestling background. I mean, your base is obviously pretty good, right? I mean, you can.
I can
you
take people down and.
Yeah, you see, and when it comes to fighting, because I mean, you've only been fighting for a year.
Yep.
Now, how long how far are you looking to push this? Let me see.
Man, my body hurts every day, but it's kind of like I still enjoy it. Yeah. And it still gets me motivated. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm ever gonna make the UFC at any point, but I mean, it's something fun to do and gives me a goal. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm gonna do it as long as my body says I can.
No, yeah, you see, and that's kind of, I mean, it's a good. You'd have to be in a good mindset. Yeah. I mean, because obviously you don't want to injure yourself and say, "Oh, I got to keep fighting."
Yeah,
so,
exactly, yeah.
I mean, there's another question that I have for you. I mean, well, as a matter of fact, I have other, guests, people that I've known. I've been doing this for over 12 years as far as media, and there's guys that are not just now coming back after being gone 5-6 years, and they're like, you know what? I mean, they're a lot more comfortable now because they're older. Yeah. Now the kids are older and they're kind of like, you know what, I got some me time and this is what they're doing. So as far as me time, I mean, how does that work with you guys? Obviously, you guys are here in San Antonio, but I mean, you got to schedule everything?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I kind of ask what time we got to be here, and then I'm just like, all right, well, I can go treadmill then, work out then. So it's like, I heard you told me about the Saturday morning class.
Yeah.
And there's one dance my daughter doesn't want me to miss. And of course, it's that
Saturday.
Yep, at 9:58. I'm like, all right, maybe I can get that done, get over here, get work in, and I can bounce back and forth. But, I got a full-time job, too, and it's kind of like I work full-time. So I basically get up in the morning, I either go to the gym, run the treadmill, go to work, get off, and then like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, I'm at, the fight gym.
Yeah.
And then the other days, I'm either treadmill and cardio or working on strength or something. So it's always like there's always something going on until like time to go to bed.
No, definitely, man. And I mean, of course, having a schedule like that, I mean, you have to be motivated.
Yeah.
Because I can't see myself trying to keep up with all that, man. I mean,
there's a lot of times like, do I really want to do this today? And it's like, nah, somebody else is out there doing it. So.
Yeah. Now, as far as the family, I mean, how's the wife feel about you doing this?
It was like, it was kind of a shocker when I dropped it on her. It was kind of, we were driving and I was like, hey, I think I want to start MMA fighting. And she was like, big, deep breath. And she's like, well, what is that? And I was like, uh-oh. So then I had to show her like some videos of MMA fights.
Oh, wow.
So, like, she's very supportive, but she was, also think I was off my rocker a little bit, but very supportive.
I think she was probably more worried about you mowing the front lawn, right?
Yeah,
I mean, exactly. Go mow the lawn and we'll talk,
Exactly. It was the same question, like, why do you want to do this? And I was like, well, because I have no motivation.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to work out anymore because there's no goal.
Yeah, that's true, man. You see, and that's kind of, I mean, with me, the whole media thing, I mean, I used to train back when, and I mean, I enjoyed it, and I had fun till I wasn't having fun anymore. And the whole media aspect kind of caught me, by surprise. And when a buddy of mine invited me to help him with TexasFighting.com at the time, I was like, yeah, I'll help you. And it kind of kept me in the loop, and I liked it because I was still talking to the fighters and people that I've known and met. And but yeah, man, I mean, it's been, it's been great, and I enjoy it. It's my therapy, and I'm pretty sure that's the same way with you, right?
Yep.
Now, of course, I mean, I mentioned earlier as far as you fighting. Now, this is going to be your fifth bout or your fifth fight, but are you looking to fight again, like before the end of the year?
Oh yeah. So basically, I had like a small elbow injury, which kind of like stopped me from doing like full long blow punches. Like it was actually hurting before my last fight, like in December. But I kind of just fought through it because I'm not that guy that, gets to the week before a fight like, I'm not going to do it.
Right,
it's
right.
like, everybody sold tickets. I'm like, let's just do it. It's like, I'm 41 years old. I'm not going to put on like, I'm not going to go out there and like be a world beater. So it's like, go out there and just try to like put on like a decent show and go from there. I mean, it went pretty good. I was going to do more stand-up this time. And I got a pretty good couple shots on. Thought I almost knocked him out. And then I got wild on a haymaker. He ducked it, took me down, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, you see, and that's kind of what you were talking about earlier. I mean, these guys have been training longer, so timing, of course, it's an essence. Yeah. Now, when it comes to you, because you do come from wrestling, I mean, did you find it kind of like different to start striking, or were you already striking before?
Striking, I'm a street fighter, you know what I mean? So it's like striking was striking.
Right,
It's like, but learning like the actual technique of it was very different. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you got to extend, turn. It's like, like it took, I'm still like trying to learn how to like turn my body and get stuff into the hits, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, that's not what you just throw big haymakers and get everything going, where you can throw a jab and, get your whole body turned and make it count. So, but yeah, like, so the technical aspects of it is really different from from anything I've learned. But yeah, but the training wise, like wrestling practice, I mean, it's the same. I mean, but
Right.
you can't run on the treadmill for 30 minutes and expect to be ready for a fight.
No, yeah.
So,
You got to do
there's fight
road work.
shape. Yeah, there's fight shape, and then there's that. I'd rather just fight all day long and get in that shape than get on the treadmill. But
No, yeah, there's a meme, I think it was on Facebook, who knows, but it was basically saying I want to be the best fighter, not the
Yeah.
best at exercising.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, it makes sense, right?
yeah.
Now, I mean, of course, you do have to work out. I mean, getting boxing sessions. What else do you do? I mean, what else do you, like, work with?
So I do a bunch of Muay Thai, kickboxing. We do jiu-jitsu. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I go to a couple gyms like on Sunday for sparring, American Elite in Edmond.
Okay,
Edmond,
sweet.
Oklahoma. So they have a big sparring class on
Nice,
Sundays at
man.
like 2:00. So I do that. Most of it's pad work though. The other times, pad work and just technical drills.
You see, and when you show up to a class like that, and I'm sure there's older fighters out there, but I mean,
Yeah, there's not a lot
do they
of
kind of
them.
like look at you and they're like, hey,
Yeah, there's not a lot of them, man. It's like, like the guy I'm fighting now, he's actually going to be the closest to my age. He's actually, I think he's 37.
oh wow,
So,
okay.
yeah, he's actually the only one to be closest to my age so far. So I'm actually really excited. I'm like, hey, get to fight another old guy.
Man.
Because Oklahoma's like the requirements, like once you hit 40, you have to have a battery of tests. You have to have an
Right.
MRI, you have to have a cardiac echo, and you have to have an eye exam.
Oh, yeah.
And it's every year. It's not like take one, have 10 fights, take another. It's every year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's like as soon as I got my license for Oklahoma back, it's like I'm gonna fight as much as I can until it expires again. But like my first fight was in Kansas City. My second fight was in Oklahoma. Then I think I had a third fight in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah.
And then my fourth fight was back in Oklahoma. Like other states, it's different rules. Like I can go to Kansas or Arkansas and just
Yeah.
fight today. It's like just get my blood work done and like pre-fight
That's it.
physical, you're good.
Man, and when it comes to the fight night, I mean, did your family go? Your kids,
Yeah,
your
they
wife?
go, yeah. My daughter, boy, she's 13. She gets a little foul mouthed, and it kills my wife, because she's hardcore Catholic. But I mean, it cracks me up a little bit because I'm like, that's my daughter.
Right, we're in the fight game, yeah.
Yeah.
Let her vent out a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly.
Man, and let me ask you this. I mean, being that you're in the fight game, say your son decides to want to start competing later, man. I mean, is this something you'd be like?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you always got to be able to defend yourself.
Right,
what I mean?
right.
So I mean, that's what separates the sheep from the wolves. So
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
if that's like even if he doesn't want to start doing it competitively, if you want to start learning it and just basically get that skill. I mean, because it's a skill that you can train for it, but unless you actually get out there and do it, there's no replacement for that activity.
No, yeah, you gotta have that experience.
Yeah.
Be able to see how it feels like to get
yeah.
punched or thrown down or
Yeah,
whatnot.
it's like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan to get punched in the mouth.
Exactly,
Plan goes out
definitely,
the
man.
window,
Man, and let me ask you now. Of course, you're gonna be here till the weekend.
Yeah, until we leave early Sunday morning.
Okay, and I mean, have you ever been to San Antonio?
Yeah, we came to San Antonio a couple of years ago. I think maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Went to Alamo, basically the tour.
The whole tourist thing.
Yeah, I think we were going down to South Padre, stopped through, did all that.
Okay.
and-
No, sweet, man. And I was gonna ask because normally, of course, I mean, everybody wants to see the Alamo. They
Yeah.
go down the Riverwalk,
Yeah.
and but yeah, what was your first take on coming to the city?
Oh man, it was beautiful. Like we love the Riverwalk. I mean, it's just everybody's so nice and so many shops and stuff. I mean, it's a beautiful city. Like Oklahoma City I think is trying to mimic San Antonio a little bit. But of course, your stuff is much older and much prettier than
Oh
ours, so
yeah,
it's
man.
kind
I
of,
mean, it's been there
yeah.
for a good while, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, the studio is here inside the HOJ. The Riverwalk, I'm pretty sure we can walk to it from here.
Yeah, it's not very
but
far.
being from here, like I haven't been in the Riverwalk in years.
Oh
bro.
yeah, it's like people in Vegas don't go to the casino.
Yeah,
It's
exactly,
like,
and that's
yeah.
why there's a lot of people. I mean, from Corpus, Houston, they're always
Uh-huh.
coming down, and they're like, "Oh, I'm in the Riverwalk, and I'm
Yeah.
at the Alamo," and I was like, "Man, I'm here, and I
Yeah.
haven't even been there in over like 10 years, you know."
Yeah.
But it is fun though. I mean, when my kids were younger, of course, we go walking and act like tourists. I mean, they'd probably take it a little too far, and they would start asking for directions. And they were like, "Oh, Dad, I'm gonna ask for directions," and I'm like, "Really?" But I let them be what they wanted to be, man.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you. Of course, I mean, this fight is coming up. Like you said, it's going to be on what day? In July.
Yeah, July 30th.
And as far as I mean, you don't have to be on weight,
Yeah,
of course,
well, I mean,
but
it doesn't have to be under 265.
right.
something.
But I mean, of course, I mean your meals. I mean, are you still watching what you eat, or?
Yeah, I try to keep I actually, because this guy weighs 220, so I don't want to go in at 265. I mean, because I don't want him to have that speed.
No, definitely.
So I'll probably end up cutting down to 240 probably. So
Okay.
it's kind of bunch of greens right now, and then like, on heavy workout days when I get back home, I probably, hit a couple carbs during the day and stuff, and of course, a lot of protein during the day, so. Everybody hates losing muscle, but unfortunately, when you're losing weight, something's gotta lose too, so.
No, definitely, man. You see, and that's one of the things, I mean, like I always tell people, when I first started working out, I didn't comprehend that. I was like, man, I'm working out, I'm doing this, and I wasn't losing weight, but I was gaining muscle, so, go figure, But yeah, I mean, that's one of the things, especially for the lighter weight classes, a lot of times they do have to lose muscle just because, it weighs them down. But, of course, I mean, you're going to be ready to go. As far as sponsors, man, do you have anybody helping you for this?
Let's see, what is Steve Marler, Dr. Steve Marler, he works the Oklahoma Accident and Recovery Centers where they do all the testing after accident stuff. So he hooked me up on the MRI and testing like that. So made it a little bit cheaper on me because that's a lot of pocket. So.
No, well, that's good, man. And of course, how far is the venue from where you live right now?
So where I live right now, it's about a 2-hour drive.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, would you weigh in and go back home, or are you going to stay out there?
We'll probably go up Friday night. We'll probably go up Friday early, do the weigh-in and the pre-fight stuff, stay the night, and then do the next day.
Oh, man. Well, definitely, bro. I mean, I'm glad you made it out here. I know they're going to start class in a few minutes, but I want to thank you, man. Of course, I mean, this is the Fight Card Podcast. We're going to keep up with your fight coming up, and wish you the best, man. Hopefully, I get to see you back, guys back here soon.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
No, not a problem. Everybody else, the Fight Card Podcast. Till next time.